up to the fucking thing, so I'm like on my MacBook speaker.
Oh,
It wouldn't work. So
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one not in my booth.
oh man, last year I was a total mess. I was calling in from like weird places where there were trains going by every 10 seconds.
I remember that.
Like really
I remember that.
unfortunate.
Well, good as time as any. So we're all live now. And I'd just like to introduce the wonderful, wonderful people. So I'm Brian. Start with the most wonderful. I'm Brian. I write books. And yeah, you're all narrators. You can introduce yourselves. Start with Steve.
I'm Steve. Oh, are we supposed to do more?
Amazing. Do you want to tell us maybe
sell yourself, man?
What do you work on? How would people know you? Like, how would they recognize you?
My name is Steve Campbell. I am an audiobook narrator, and I mostly do lit RPG. I love it. I have said from the beginning that it's like Saturday morning cartoons for adults for me. So I love getting to do these characters that are larger than life and trying to come up with voices and accents and unique ways of emulating what authors put down on page is both the biggest blessing and the biggest curse of my life, because when I get a example of the character the narrative says that the character had a voice like tinkling glass or rocks cascading down a mountain, and I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do that with my voice? Okay, so yeah, it's a blast.
Annie, what about you?
Okay, I'm Annie Ellicott. I am also an audiobook narrator. I also mostly do lit RPG, but some fantasy as well. I mostly work with sound booth theater. My most recent release as far as narration goes is Time Marked Warlock by Shami Stovall, who's like really going gangbusters right now. She's kind of she's like a rising star, so it's really exciting to be on one of her books, and it's a great book. It's like a mystery. It's like a detective and a young girl get together, and it's sort of like a buddy comedy mystery set in Oakland, California. And the next book, Kronos Warlock, is coming out in November, and I'm very excited about that.
Amazing. Tess, what about you?
Hey guys. First of all, so amazing to be here on this panel with such incredible voices. Thanks for having me, and thanks to Geneva. I'm also a narrator, clearly. I've been doing this since 2013. I've worked in truly every genre there could possibly be. But I have found myself sort of in a sweet spot doing a lot of fantasy and lit RPG and game lit and sort of everything in that realm. And I work a lot for Podium Audio, so I'm just about to release my 100th book with them. And I work across all genres. I work with every publisher. I like to perform under a bunch of different names. So Tess is the name that I use that's associated with all of my lit RPG stuff. I'm currently working on Talon's Saga Book 4, which is a lesbian lit RPG by Benjamin Medrano. And I do have a Discord server, and I pretty much broadcast every day. So I invite anyone and everyone to come by and listen in as I make all the lit RPG mouth sounds.
That is awesome.
That is very awesome. And Jack Fields, who's one of the other Legion authors, he cannot speak highly enough of that Discord, of just going in to be like, oh my God, my words come real. So it's he says it a lot more eloquently, Jack. But it's kind of like, that's the sort of vibe. Neil.
My signal is kind of going in and out, so I apologize if I freeze. Just kidding.
Perfect timing.
No. Did he actually freeze this time?
And then he's just really committing to the bit. It's like
that is dedication. That is dedication right there.
That's amazing.
Neil, you are a true master of the craft.
Remember how you would leave like a voicemail? Yeah. You would leave a message saying like "hello," and then
See, he's doing it again.
Let's not be technologically with that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm mostly. I am mostly a. Yeah, I know. Never mind. I'm a narrator. I do a bunch of books, and I'll just say that. That's fine. You can look me up on Audible, and I don't know. Yeah. I do a lot of fantasy, occasionally poetry, and
You didn't get it in fast enough.
I'm apparently a fucking mess. So just technologically, just move on. Okay, this is not my day. That's fine. It's fine.
So Gary, I would like you
Move on.
before you
If
introduce
can
yourself.
I'm just gonna vanish.
Gary, before you introduce yourself, could you introduce Neil?
Beside me is narrators, as you can read. He's lovely and amazing and does lots of books and has a fantastic voice.
Yes, that was wonderful. And now, Gary, who is Gary Francis Furlong?
Hi, my name is Gary Furlong. I'm a narrator. I do a lot of male romance, do some lit RPG, some fantasy. I'm currently working with Sound Booth on a book called What the Frost by Ben Wolfe. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, I make the strange noises with my face, and it's a lot of fun.
Could you just do the zoom in with your camera, just for the audience?
What are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean when you say that. Like, stop taking the piss, Brian.
And JS, over to you.
I'm jealous of that zoom. I want to be able to do that.
Yeah, we got a good zoom.
I mean, I guess I could just move my laptop while I'm talking, but that's not quite the same thing. That's awesome, Gary. I need one of those. Hi, J.S. Arquin, narrator of fantasy and science fiction. Record a ton of lit RPG for Podium, Aethon, Dreamscape, all those good people. In fact, I was just in the booth just now recording book 1 of Magicraft Master, which is a new series that's going to be coming out from Podium very soon. Very excited about that. I'm a big fantasy and science fiction nerd from way back. My whole life, I grew up reading fantasy and sci-fi and playing RPG games and stuff. And so this is my perfect career path. I've been a professional actor for decades, and so super stoked to be very, very busy in this genre. And I love what I do. Love going in the booth and recording every day, and super happy to be here.
Amazing. So before we get into a little bit of fun and games, fuck off, Jay. Before we get into a little bit of fun and games, I was thinking of just asking a couple of questions, because every time I see sort of like narrator panels, a lot of the questions are usually down to the craft of becoming a narrator, or it's down to, your favorite ever characters and things like that. And one of the questions I was hoping to potentially ask you all was, what is the biggest sort of like learning moment for you or interesting thing of the last 6 months? Because rather than it being, and like if your last project was in 9 months ago, you know what I mean? As in like something that has been a pivotal thing of like that constantly just like leveling up, getting better, and just like in your own craft. What has been the most pivotal thing or the impactful like learning moment for you in the last number of months? Start with you, Steve.
Of course. Everyone else gets a chance to think about it.
My answer's gonna be so good.
Yeah, it's probably good I'm going first and not last, because everyone's like, oh, that guy sucked. So actually something that's kind of hit me recently, because I've hit about the 7-year mark, the 7-year itch, I guess. And now what's come up is stuff that I have posted early on in my career, like my first and my second year. And I was like, hey, I'm really proud of this. I'm going to put it on social media. And now that's coming back as a memory to me on Facebook. And so I'll have these little clips where it was like a graphic of the book, and then my audio that I had selected that I thought this is the best representation of me doing this book, and put it on that graphic and put it out there. Now when it's coming back and I listen and I go, oh God, oh, that's so bad. That is so bad. And
Love
so
that feeling.
normally that would send me into a shame spiral of like how horrible I am. But what I managed to somehow come up with or realize was that even when I was that shitty, I still had people that wanted me to do their books, and I was getting compliments in the ratings going, wow, this is really great. This guy's really awesome at what he's doing. So I thought, wow, I can't feel as bad about what I'm doing right now because I was that bad and I can hear it. I was really bad then, and people still liked it. So right now I'm doing a lot better than I was back then. And so I need to just give myself a break and enjoy the ride.
Love that for you, Steve. No, we'll go. I'm sorry, I'm not skipping Annie. I'm just going to go straight to Gary just because he seems super confident with how much
Oh,
time we
goodness.
have.
I do have an answer for this because I've kind of, I don't know, recently I had to like think about a lot of the little things about doing narration because I was ending every single day really bad sore throat. Like sometimes I would lose my voice midday and just be like, well, shit, I can't do anything now. So I stripped things back to basics, like little things like, I don't know if you can see, my booth is fully lined with carpet. And I have a little bit of a dust allergy. So I got a handheld vacuum and I went all over this thing and it was like, I pulled out a lot of stuff that I'm not proud was in there. It's like, oh my God, how's all that living in there? And I started to like slow down when I narrated and found that I had more control. And I've been doing this for so long that I think I just started doing it on autopilot and didn't think about go back to basics, think about the small things. And just once you have the foundations correct, the rest will build on top of that. And so it's really kind of been helping because I got to a pretty down place where I was like, well, do I even want to do this anymore if I'm hurting my throat every single day? But yeah, it's kick ass now. I'm having a great time.
Fantastic. Annie, back to you then.
Well, that kind of reminded me of something that I learned in the last few months, which is that I actually live in a really quiet area. And so I don't have to keep my booth door closed all the time. And just having a normal amount of oxygen flowing through my body for most of my working hours has really been just kind of revolutionary. I can work
I kind of like the
longer, feel
lightheadedness.
better. Yeah, no, I get it. I'm all about the natural highs too. But it really makes a difference getting enough oxygen. And Justin Thomas James was the one who mentioned like, he's like, Annie, I've been cracking my door open a couple of inches while I work, and I feel my life force returning to me, I was like, yeah, that's what's happening to me too. It's a thing with humans and oxygen.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I love how I thought I was going to get the most profound answers. And it's like, did you know you can leave a door open and breathe? Also,
Okay.
I couldn't breathe. Hoover the carpet.
Well, here,
Sorry.
okay,
Vacuum and breathe.
I'll add this at the end. There's also that, I've come to really accept fully, deeply down to the core that free will is an illusion. So I have absolute love for myself now and everyone else.
That has fulfilled the entire profound quota. So
Okay.
everyone else can have shit answers now.
All right.
You're all allowed. Tess, over to you.
Gosh, this is such a great question. Introducing Discord and live narration into my life was very late in coming. I know that a lot of narrators have various avenues for live narration, and I was frankly quite dubious about it for very, very long and didn't sort of see how it would play a part in my workday, but I was encouraged to do it, and it has been so beneficial to have live humans listening in to my work. I can't tell you how much it's affected my work process, and it's made me, I think, both so much more productive and a better narrator. Because it's a constant reminder that someone is listening to the story. And I think it's really easy with those crazy long recording days, if it's a series that you've been doing for a long time, to sort of go into autopilot where half of your brain is thinking about your grocery list. I hate to admit it, but that certainly happens. But with Discord, not at all. So that's been like a quite a shocking gift in a lot of ways, and really has sort of changed my narration process so much for the better.
Neil?
Mine's going spotty again, so I'll try to be concise. This probably won't work, but anyway, I before I was a narrator, this is not working, right? Before I was a narrator,
It's working.
Okay, great. Before I was a narrator, I taught. I mean, I was doing mostly stage theater, and also that kind of came along with a period where I was teaching a lot, mostly teenagers, but also some kind of all ages. And I kind of moved that aside to become a full-time narrator, which at the time I completely didn't regret at all. It was like I was kind of done with it. Just very recently, I started bringing that back into my life a little bit, with a retreat, and then picking up some coaching students, and without all these sort of admin BS that I was kind of dealing with, that kind of pushed me out. It's been good just sort of be exercising those muscles again.
Oh, so close.
And am I doing that too? Like, I'm giving advice out to people about narration, and I'm like, oh, right, yeah, I should probably be including some of that as well too. And a lot of that sort of moment-to-moment work, that's like, I've been realizing I was not thinking as much about not just the dialogue, but sort of finding active moments in discovery in the narration parts, not just the dialogue, where it's sort of easier because it's more like direct scene work. And then kind of just taking it's made me kind of stop and reinvent how I was doing everything, kind of in a moment-to-moment kind of way. And it's been very helpful. It's weirdly like my pickups have gone down, which is weird. Sometimes, not all the times. Some books are like, what the fuck was I thinking? But a lot of time it is just like oh right, like there is a life inside this that I was kind of like not ignoring, not necessarily glossing over, but that I was not really getting as much out of as I could have. And I feel like I'm doing that more often now, and that feels good. It feels like I'm more connected to the work I'm doing, and it keeps things from being rote, and it's been more just kind of just healthier. It feels like I don't feel as drained at the end of the day because I've not did any of that get through it all. I have no idea whatsoever.
So much,
Yeah,
so much
so
of
much
it.
of it.
Yeah.
It was very, very good.
I'm just hearing, I think JS hopping up and down right now. It's weird. I'm like weirdly getting one of you at a time. That's what's happening. I might need to reboot.
Just appear in different frames.
Yeah.
I'm actually hopping up and down because I'm sitting on an exercise ball, so it's very bouncy here.
That's
Sure.
so that explains it. I'm going to reboot and I'll be back. Just don't mind me. Just carry on. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back shortly. Yeah. Cheerio.
I'd want to comment on something somebody said about putting plants in your booth and about how they might grow better because of like the positive energy and also the carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
I think, right? Because that goes back to what Annie was saying about keeping the door open to not get
I
lightheaded.
thought about getting some plants for my booth. Yeah,
Well,
before
you
I
have a
realized I could
window
have
in
the
your
door
booth.
open.
You have a window.
You do
in
have
your
a
booth,
window.
so
What the fuck?
the natural light would be amazing.
My booth door is not open. I mean, it is open.
Okay.
It's opposite day. I mean, it's not opposite day. But also, my booth door does have a giant window.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, I
no,
live in the
that's
pit
terrible.
of despair of darkness in here, so I don't think any plant would grow at all.
Yeah, me too. There's no windows in my booth. You need a grow light or something. Anyway, though, so there was a question
up
that I'm
in your
supposed to be
booth.
answering. Most impactful learning moment from the past 6 months. So believe it or not, narrating is really hard on your voice. It's hard to talk out loud, for like 8 hours a day, day after day after day. And so over the years, I've kind of, built up vocal stamina and like been able to record, put out more hours of audiobook kind of per week without losing my voice slowly but surely. And this year, I actually leveled up because I had some serious deadlines back in like May. I had 4 books I had to get done in 1 month, 4 lit RPG books that were all over 20 hours each. So the entire month of May, I took 2 days off. I recorded every day except for 2 days the entire month of May and hit all my deadlines and just leveled up as far as like knowing like, oh my gosh, I can put out this much work and not lose my voice if I absolutely have to. Like, I don't want to have to. I don't want to do that every month. Like I would die. But it's nice knowing that I can, right? If I have to. So that was my level up learning moment of this year.
Wow.
So one of the welcome back, Neil.
Hey,
You already look better.
thanks. I lost the weight a little bit.
You were looking a little pallid before, and the color is just that much
Oh,
more
yeah.
vibrant. Yeah.
It's just the things were not balanced. It's okay now. Now that I've said that, I've jinxed myself. I'm sorry.
So I just have one other question, and like it might be, I don't want to necessarily turn it into a bit of a downer or anything like that, but it was just on what JS said there, on the topic of like, only 2 days in May of not recording. Would you feel comfortable talking maybe about, the effects of like burnout or overworking? Because the deadlines that come in with this, like a lot of the times people always talk about the authors, as in like, oh yeah, like it's so solitary, it's all this. We're not in a vertical coffin, as someone said. We're not in a dark space, just talking to ourselves. We're writing to ourselves. But I was curious if you wouldn't mind maybe talking maybe, and we'll start in reverse order. JS, if you'd like to start us off.
Thank you.
Sure. Fortunately, I've always been kind of a solitary reader. Anyway, like I said, I've always been a big bookworm. So even as a kid, I was an only child. So I've always spent a lot of time by myself, and I like to spend a lot of time by myself. So fortunately, it's not that hard to sit in a little room and read books all day, because that's kind of what I've done my whole life anyway. So that's my answer.
Perfect. Tess?
I very intentionally build out my schedule so I have a bit of wiggle room with every book. I don't book myself back to back in the way that I actually could. I always add like 1 or 2 extra days to the amount of time I think it'll take me to record. And that allows me to sort of take a few hours one afternoon and just not record, or take a day off in the middle. I think it's really easy to say yes to absolutely everything in this business, and it's always difficult to say no, but I have found that setting those boundaries is really useful, and saying just giving myself that sort of cushion has given me like a lot of mental comfort to not feel panicked about meeting those deadlines.
Excellent. Actually, does anyone want to jump in on the question, or do you want to just like skip? So up to yourselves.
I've been kind of if I can not freeze up now. I've been doing the same thing that Tess was saying about like trying to be gentler on myself in terms of my scheduling. But aside from that, I've also been kind of trying to lean into the idea that even if we are alone here, that we're not, like, that there is an intense collaboration happening every second, really, with someone else's thoughts. We're alone, but we're not solitary in that respect. Like, and I think working within this genre style gamelit, I think emphasizes that, because I think we tend to be more in touch with our authors thereby than is maybe the case otherwise, trad-wise. And I appreciate that and love that about this genre style, whatever you want to call it. But also that, like, it keeps me from feeling quite so, would you say vertical coffin? That's grim. I love it. It's grim. I love it. But that it's at every moment, it's not me. So the focus isn't on my solitude. The focus is on what's on the page and what I'm putting out there. And if it's occasionally doing the live thing, that sort of really emphasizes it, that it's for someone else. That it takes the onus off us to have to be alone, because we're never alone as long as we're with a good book. But I mean, I said that weird, but I meant that sincerely.
It's true. We're living in fantasy worlds. We're not alone. I mean, we're, with a full cast of characters.
We're alive together.
And I do love piggybacking off of what Neil and Tess said initially about being on Discord and that kind of stuff. It really does change the game in a lot of ways, especially I found it very interesting, especially when I went to APAC, or if I get together with other narrators. In a way, it surprised me, and yet in another way, it doesn't surprise me at all, that most narrators are very introverted. And so they like their alone time. It's like they like to perform, but not in front of people. So this is perfect for them. I, on the other hand, am very extroverted, and I love being around people. So being in the booth is very isolating. And so Discord was amazing, or it has been amazing for me in that way, because I feel like I'm not alone in the booth. But it can also be a double-edged sword in the fact that if you're super hyper self-critical and you're really struggling with a book, you're struggling with a book in front of everyone. And although they seem very kind, and I've yet to find anybody who's hanging out or listening who has ever been rude or has not been the most encouraging and amazing people, it's still your own self-criticism you can put on them and feel like, I'm disappointing them because I'm trying to figure this out and I can't get it right. And so I just need to be by myself for a little bit. And that's hard for me specifically. So yeah, I can appreciate this question because I've had quite an arc of challenges with being able to handle the burnout and, like I said, the 7-year itch, and also being able to perform. And this is, I was in construction for a lot of years before I did this. And one of the things that I noticed in the difference between going and doing like a regular 9 to 5, or if you're at an office or you're at a construction site or wherever you are, you can feel like garbage. You can be either physically or emotionally or whatever, and you can go and do your work and kind of phone it in. You're not going to get as much done, but you're going to be able to accomplish something. You can go in and kind of muck about and, pound a few nails or type a few letters or, process some data, whatever it is. But the beauty and the difficulty of what we do is you have to be 100% on. Even if you were to take in the world of acting in general, whether it's on stage, on film, on screen, and in the booth, if you have a bad night or you're not feeling it one night on stage, it's live in front of an audience. And so it sucks for maybe that audience. But one, you have a supporting cast of characters, so maybe it won't be as noticeable because everyone else is going to be on their game, and that might help you. And two, worst case scenario, it wasn't the best experience from one actor one night, and only that audience in that show is going to notice. Whereas, and the same with film or whatever, they can redo the shot, they can redo the take. In audiobooks, if you're having a bad day, we don't record these books in one day. It's over the course of many days. And so the contrast of like sounding like garbage, whether physically because your voice isn't working or emotionally because you can't get there, is going to be noticeable. And when you are conscientious about the responsibility, not only to the publisher, to the author, their work, their baby, and to the listening audience who's going to be enjoying this and paying money, good money to listen to this audiobook, you have this hard time of like not being able to just go in and phone it in. And so then you're like, if I can't do the best job I can, then maybe I shouldn't be in the booth at all today. But that can really screw up your schedule if that extends over a long period of time. I'm talking way too much, but it's something that I think it's been really striking home for me lately. And so finding that balance of being okay emotionally, because you can't just phone it in when you get into the booth, is a really big thing. And it's very important to be able to talk about. Sorry.
No, never apologize. Honestly, like
I'm Canadian. Telling me not to apologize is like telling me not to breathe. Don't do that.
Yeah. Also, like Gary can attest to this. Irish people apologize all the time, way too much. I thought that was our thing.
The sickness we have.
So I'm sorry too. So I was thinking, like, unless anyone else wants to jump in, we can just go straight into the voice challenge part itself.
Killed the mood.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, technically, if we start now, it'll be 32 minutes of that. So the majority of this will have been the voice challenge.
And I'd like to talk for about 10 minutes on this previous question. No.
That's also an Irish sickness.
We talk about voice coffins again.
From the voice coffin.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start off with Annie. Would you like to pick a number between 1 and 20 for me?
Yes. 69.
Nice.
Just kidding. 17.
17. Okay.
Does it go up to 69? I hope not.
It does. 19.
I can make this happen. Excellent. So to tell everyone what's happening in the background, I've just sent a private, prompt in our private chat here.
Right.
And what we were hoping to do is to have our lovely narrators kind of do these, very well-known movie quotes, but with different sort of vocal direction. So we'll be keeping it off screen to see, who can actually guess what the actual movie is, as well as to see if they can parse through.
Okay.
Sorry, before you start, Annie, do you want to give the next narrator another number so that they have a chance to
Yes.
look at what's going on, so we're not waiting for them
Oh,
to
that's a good idea.
read it
That's a
through?
very good idea.
Make for better performances.
I mean, I'm
Leave-
sorry, Annie, that you're stuck with now we're waiting for you to see what you're doing.
No. We'll actually do all the numbers while Annie's looking at it.
Yeah.
So, Gary, what's your number?
Gonna roll a d20 and see.
Oh, I like that.
19.
19. Oh man, this
So
is
we're
gonna
getting
be horrible.
So we're gonna get the whole lineup, and then I'll begin. That's the deal.
That's
Okay,
perfect.
cool.
And remember, this one is for you, Gary. And then we'll go Tess.
6.
Oh, I can do better than that one.
6 was not good, Tess.
I'm gonna pick a different number.
Poor number
No,
choice.
no. You know what? As in, it's just not as meaty as the others.
Oh
but
yeah, give me the meat, Brian.
Can I get that? Like,
no
just as a
veganism
recording?
here. He needs the meat.
Everyone will get this one, but you know what? I still love it. And then we'll go with Neil.
Oh, 6 again. Sorry. 5.
Okay. And then we will go with JS.
I'm delighted that we all have D20s, right? Just happen to have them sitting around. 3.
Oh, I just need to double check this. Love this one. And then we have, sorry, I've lost the runner myself.
Just
you, Steve.
I think. Gary, can you roll for me? I am
Will.
not one of the nerds that has a D20 in my booth for whatever.
Oh, you're
reason.
just cool kids that you're saying fine, whatever.
I'm not as cool as you guys. Sorry, man.
Oh, 17's been called, right?
Um,
I think Annie called 17.
That was
Yeah.
70, yeah.
Yeah.
13.
Lucky number 13.
Okay. This is a very, very short one, but I love it, so I'm still sending it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So, by the way, if anyone isn't happy with the direction or anything like that, you can totally change it on the fly, or whatever it is you want. But yeah, so let's start out without saying what it is. Annie, over to you.
Okay, thank you. I see all this potential and I see it squandered. An entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables, slaves with white collars. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy stuff we don't need. We're the middle children of history, man.
That was excellent.
Yeah.
So good.
So, to give context to the audience, the direction for that was give it a soft, soothing tone like a meditative mindfulness coach, as if you're helping someone find their inner peace while delivering this angry speech.
That was
And yes,
lightning
Robert,
fast, though. He got it straight away.
Fight Club.
That was
So,
really fast.
excellent. So next we are, is it you, Gary?
Yeah, I can go if 'tis me.
Yes.
All right. Hold on, make sure I have it. Yeah. Cool. I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots? Or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But, being this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you?
That was incredible.
No, it's recorded. No.
That's on the reel now.
That's going to become
Yeah, be uploading that to my
my new
website.
ringtone. I'm telling you right now.
So it was, the direction was, say it in a sultry French accent, like you're seductively inviting someone to a romantic dinner instead of threatening them. And I believe, was it Tess next?
Yeah, I'm up next. I'm gonna go rogue, and can I like change
Absolutely.
the direct?
You do it, whatever you want.
Say what it is in advance because I'm changing the character, or just
No,
Tell
do the
us at the
line.
end.
Don't tell it. We got to guess.
Good morning, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. If I don't make it, you'll make it. You are the star. You're the show. Don't be afraid to leave. Life is waiting for you.
So good.
I think my favorite part of that is that I had no idea what to expect. And I was not disappointed.
it's the end of a long day of narrating, and I didn't think I had it in my voice to do a booming sports announcer. So I went with like an
That was so
Elfin
much better than a sports announcer.
Oh, yes, great.
Oh,
I
so
went
much
with
better.
like an old
Upgrade.
elfin librarian.
Yeah.
So then do we have, is it Neil or JS?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. I'm also
Nope.
going a little slightly rogue. Well,
Perfect.
that gets his name. Yeah. You ever had that feeling when you're not sure if you're awake or still dreaming? All the time. It's called mescaline. It's the only way to fly. It's just that when you meet someone special, you'll know. That's the thing about time. It's still the same clock ticking away. That
What
started as
direction?
Kermit. That started as Kermit, but ended more like what's his name? Jordan Peterson. In the end. when it got serious and sort of philosophical, I think it went into more Jordan.
Both the same level of credibility. I love it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Neither
Neither of them are easy. Yeah.
And yeah, the Matrix. Like, you better not be typing all this in, guys. If you are all typing in what they're saying and then just getting the quotes, it'll be bad. Yeah, I'll know, Jay. I'll know. So JS, over to you.
Okay, also going rogue. I wasn't feeling the direction there. I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright. And when they fly away, the part of you that knows it was a sin to lock them up does rejoice. But still, the place you live is in that much more drab and empty that they're gone.
Very cool.
I really, really like that.
That's very cool.
Amazing.
And what direction did you give yourself for that one, JS?
I decided to do a dragon since we're, lit RPG.
Nice.
I love it. And yeah. Steve, I'm not meaning to project on this, but I really hope you didn't change the stage direction for yours.
But why? Why? This is okay. I will endeavor to do this. Good Lord, God help me. Okay. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I think we all know where that's from.
A Goofy movie.
The direction, I don't know if anyone knows what movie that is. It's a little known movie that I think that one didn't really get very far.
I think we need the little the sound at the end of that usually accompanies that line.
In the same direction as before.
The little I don't know how that ends up in the direction, but yeah,
neither do I.
Oh,
I think I'll just give the direction for this. The needs to actually be more of a yas.
Yeah, Queen.
Excellent.
This is the second oddly placed reference to that exact line that has come into my life this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the first?
It was I don't think it's NSFW.
Because everything else here has been
Yeah.
board.
We'll chat after, Annie. You can tell me.
Put it in the private chat.
So would you like another?
Why not?
Yeah.
Sure.
Excellent.
Yep.
So let's rather than giving you all
Brian needs to do one too.
No,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't voices things good.
You've such a nice microphone, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Everybody
this one
thinks
voice.
that you should do one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's what they want.
Free will is an illusion,
Brian.
I think we could refuse to do another one until Brian does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll hold our voices hostage.
Okay. Can I ask for the consensus of if this is okay with all of you?
Yes.
I am all
Do
about
it.
that.
Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to
100%.
change the direction, though.
No, I just wanted to get your hopes up.
It's your
Moving
own
on.
question anyway, so you can like rogue on yourself. It doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Do we need to give you?
Carpedium. Seize the day, boys. What am I doing? Make your lives extraordinary, because you see, gentlemen, these boys are now fertilizing daffodils. But if you listen real close, you can hear them whisper their legacy to you.
Nice.
Very good. Yes.
Was that Jesse
That's awesome,
Ventura?
Brian.
That's great.
Like an Ultimate Warrior in there.
That was
That
the first time that voice has ever left my
What
That
was
was-
it? No, what was his name? It wasn't
That was
Jesse
Captain
Ventura, it was the
Insano
other-
from
it was the
Waterboy.
other
And
wrestler.
it took half your voice with it. It sounds like half your throat.
Oh
with it.
god, no! I forgot how to
Flair.
breathe.
I can't think of his name. It was
Oh, Ric
great.
Flair.
What's the
Captain Insano from Waterboy? That's what it sounded like to me.
what's the quote?
Oh, sorry. Dead
Jay
Poet
nailed it.
Society.
Dead
Yeah.
Poet Society.
Jay.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, I need to only look to the comments.
Ski Man Brian. Okay. Anyway, so
Thank
let's-
you. Thank you.
Oh,
That was brilliant.
thank you very, very much. That is curious on. Oh, sorry, the direction one. It did say, "Say this in a booming, exaggerated voice of a professional wrestling announcer." Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, But yeah, I just got that joke. Sorry, never mind. So I will send over the next one. So I forget the order that you all did it in, but I know that Annie starts. So
Oh, do I need
Annie?
to give you more numbers?
Are you just
No,
assigning us pieces, or
She's just
I'm just going to assign because
Okay.
I'm lightheaded now.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm playing it, chat.
Oh, okay. This one you just gave me. Okay.
and then I believe Gary,
So I think so.
Yes.
and then I believe Tess.
Yep.
Yep.
Then I believe Neil.
Yep.
Oh, this is made for you.
Uh-oh.
Well, the quote,
Okay.
not the direction.
Mm. Oh yeah.
And then we are JS. And then I believe we are Steve.
We are Steve.
I kind of love this one for you, Steve.
Yep.
Oh my
Pretty
word!
good.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Are we all set?
I think we are all
Okay.
set. I don't know how you guys do this as a profession. My head is throbbing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we're all good. Annie,
hoover
if
your
you'd like
boot.
to-
Okay, I'm gonna go. You know, the direction that I've been handed is pretty much the same direction as before, so I am gonna switch it up.
I
Okay.
noticed that. I am
All right.
in favor.
All right. So okay. Wait.
I could stay awake just to hear you breathing. Watch your smile while you're sleeping, while you're far away and dreaming. Every moment spent with you is a moment I treasure. I don't want to miss a thing.
Bravo!
Oh God.
I picked the worst time to take a drink. The
Yes.
absolute worst time to take a drink.
No
That was
spit take.
incredible.
We needed the spit take. That was so awesome.
Did people guess what it was?
That's actually, it's an impersonation of Conan O'Brien doing an impersonation of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my God, I love it.
So good.
Gary, over to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a play on the direction, and know that any words I repeat, which I think will only be one, is just me repeating a one word in the thing. It doesn't repeat it in the script, just so you know. That will make sense, maybe. Look, look, look. I'm not here to tell you how this is going to end. I'm here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to show them a world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries, a world where anything is possible.
Woo!
Wow.
So good.
I love
Gotta
this.
get my
comedy.
Poppins on.
Tess, we're over to you.
Okay, again, because I'm so gosh darn tired, I'm taking a inspiration from one of the words in this for my characterization.
You listen to me. You're not a child anymore. You're not some weak, stupid little thing. You're a woman, and you're strong, and you're capable. Don't let anyone ever make you feel like you're less than that.
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
That was
so good.
Bravo!
Wow.
Inspired by the word child, I decided to do a child.
I want that to be like the voice of my super ego.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of want that as a serial killer voice because it would just be
That would be
super freaky.
terrifying. It'd be so good.
So scary.
And now we are down to Neil.
Yeah. This is I think this is what this direction is, but or not. Whatever. It's fine. Every man dies. Not every man really lives. All men lose when they die, but not every man loses his family. They think that this land belongs to them, but it belongs to us. Will you fight with me?
Very nice.
Brilliant.
That was excellent. So imagine you're a quirky radio DJ from the 1970s with a laid-back, groovy tone, making the speech like you're introducing the net hit single.
Sure.
That was incredible.
Basically.
So good.
Nailed it.
Nailed it for sure.
And yes.
All right, I'm following directions this time. Here we go. You see, in this world, there's two kinds of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns, and those who dig. You dig. And you know, the world isn't fair. It never has been, and it never will be. But that doesn't mean you stop trying. My direction was soap opera actor, dramatic and overly emotional.
Yeah, and it did also say gasping and clutching at your chest between lines. So like that was excellent. And Steve.
Oh boy. Okay.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I can do those things. I can be the outcast. I can make the choice that no one else can make. The right choice.
Ooh.
Delicious.
Incredible.
Pirate.
deliver it like a drunk pirate, slurring your words and
Mm.
laughing loudly between sentences as if you're giving life advice to your crew. That was phenomenal.
The man can
Steve.
take direction.
Oh
Kid
yes, and it
Gambit.
was indeed the Dark Knight. But yeah, like these are the very, very interesting takes of like The Color Purple, Braveheart, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Technically, he was wrong because it wasn't the Joker. That was Two-Face.
Is.
No,
Harvey
it's
Dent.
in The
it's
Dark
Dent.
Knight.
I just watch. It's Batman. Recall. He's clapping back. Harvey Dent does say it early on, but it's
Oh,
this
but
is him.
Batman
This
says
is
it
him.
to.
This is him taking it into himself and
Okay, but he says
saying-
that part to
Commissioner
Gordon.
or to
Commissioner
I think he's Lieutenant Gordon at the time. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah. I just watched that this week.
Yeah,
That's fine.
you're right.
Yeah.
So I am conscious that if we go into another round of this, that we will go over time. And I
No,
want to
we
give
won't
all-
because that one was like less than 10 minutes. And the one before that was just about 10 minutes. I looked at the time thing. We're okay.
The more time we
Okay.
spend talking about it, the less time we'll have to do it, Brian.
Go, go,
so
go,
goddamn sorry.
go, go.
Don't think.
Don't think, just do
Annie,
it.
Annie, I'm so sorry. Here you go. Here you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit.
Mm.
Okay. What's where's the private chat? I'm in it. Okay.
And then next we have. Sorry, I'll just do this. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
remember your orders.
Me, I think.
Do
Yeah.
we remember of what does?
That's
Annie first, then Gary.
I
then
remember
Tess,
my
then
order.
Neil,
Mine's
Jess,
the
and
one.
Gary,
Steve.
then Test, and me.
I'm the caboose, so I'm okay. Yeah, I know where I am.
So Annie, whenever you are ready, you can go.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. And like that, he was gone. Poof! And you're left with nothing but questions. Isn't that the worst part of it?
The poof caught me off guard. That was excellent. The direction of cheerful kindergarten teacher vibe, as if you're explaining a simple concept to a group of small children. And
Nailed it.
Excellent. And the usual suspects. Over to you, Gary.
All right, I'm gonna have to turn my gain down a small bit because I am going to try to keep to this direction.
Unlike what I did. Screaming
Can y'all hear
into
me
the
okay?
microphone.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. We're not here to simply exist. We're here to make an impact, to leave a legacy, to change the game and create something new.
That was excellent.
So good.
Hyped up sports coach pacing back and forth and yelling with excitement as if you're trying to
I
inspire
told
your
you
team to win the
coaches would say
championship.
that.
Man.
That was excellent. And Inception. Tess.
All right. I'm actually going with the direction here. I'm going to toss a dialect on top of it and see what happens. What we do in life echoes in eternity. This world will know that free men stood against a tyrant, that few stood against many, and that, by standing together, we change the course of history.
Honest to God, thought that was the opening of one of the Fable games. That was brilliant. But it's Gladiator.
Gladiator.
It was excellent.
Yeah, the direction was use the soft crooning voice of a smooth jazz singer.
Very good. It's good ASMR. I could go to sleep to that voice.
100%.
Absolutely. Neil.
Okay. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. It's not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business. But you see, it's the small gestures that make all the difference. It's the respect you command, not the fear you create. That was the dramatic, breathy tone of a romantic poet, as if you're reciting Shakespeare to your one true love.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't know how you got that one,
It's
Neil.
so random. Weird.
So
Yeah.
random.
It's not my thing at all.
JN?
Typecasting.
JS, you're up.
Oh, he's muted.
You're muted.
Muted.
I'm muted. Oh my gosh. Okay. Following directions. Here we go.
A mime.
A mime in a little vertical coffin.
I thought that's why you muted. That was your shtick.
All right. Love is passion, obsession. Someone you can't live without. If you don't start there, what are you going to end up with? Fall head over heels? Find someone you can love like crazy and who'll love you the same way back. How do you find them? Well, you forget your head and you listen to your heart.
Ooh.
Wow.
Genius.
I feel strangely motivated.
Yeah.
So, meet Joe Black, deep, exaggerated voice of a grizzled war general barking out orders and strategies like love is a battlefield.
Love is a battlefield. Go get it.
And Steve.
It's giving
It's giving what?
I can't think of the guy's name. Tony Robbins.
Oh,
It's giving Tony Robbins.
it does. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Every man has a destiny, and I believe we can make it great. But greatness isn't handed to you. You have to fight for it. And don't quit until the end, no matter how hard it gets. No matter how many times you fall, you keep going.
Yes.
That broke
Such
me.
a specific direction.
I was so thematically connected to the text too.
Yeah.
Sort of like, you gotta keep going. Gotta keep going.
Did you go Marvin the Martian on that?
A little bit.
You
That was
did,
my
yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah.
That was my inspiration.
And now book 3 of the series is going to be entirely that point of view, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, that was actually kind of difficult on my voice, so I don't know about that. But
The actual directions. So should we read the actual directions
yes,
of them?
yes,
Because
yes.
it was very specific. Try delivering this in the voice of a space alien with robotic inflections and pauses, like you're observing human perseverance for the first time.
Wow.
That's a lot to take in all at
That-
once.
Observing
I
human
was-
perseverance
I was
for the first
trying,
time.
yeah.
I got that.
So, I think then, and you were completely right, Steve. We totally did have time for more. So sorry for that.
Lightning round.
So, I guess then, would you be able to tell us a little bit more about yourselves as we wrap up? Like, I'm pretty sure this one goes on for just an hour, isn't it?
I think it actually went on for technically 45 minutes, but that's okay.
Oh.
We've got time to do a full tell us where to find
Yes.
you and all that.
So, yes, if you wouldn't mind, and we'll just go across the board here. So, Steve, where can we find you? Tell us about you. Where can we find you?
I am just about everywhere. Everywhere. On most social medias, you can find me at Steve Campbell VO, literally at Steve Campbell VO, Facebook, whatever the places are, Twitter, TikTok, yada, yada, yada. And then also my website is stevecampbellsvoice.com, which has a listing of all the different books I'm done and working on and yada, yada, yada. And then also my Discord, where I hang out most days, for doing live recording sessions and making all kinds of mistakes and horrible choices, and then correcting those choices and making better choices.
Annie.
All right. You can find me on Facebook as Annie Ellicott, on Instagram as Annie Ellicott. I have a website called annieellicott.com. And I am on Discord too. And I'm, I used to do a lot of live recording, and I sort of fell out of the habit. I'm pretty dyslexic and kind of OCD about my performance, and I'm a little, I get self-conscious about people, like you were saying, Steve. Like I get self-conscious about people like having a window into that.
Mhm.
But I do miss it, and I think people find it interesting, and if they get bored, they can leave, you know. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll be back on Discord too.
Yay! Yay!
JS, where can we find you?
You can find me on the social medias at as Arquin Audiobooks, and website is arquinaudiobooks.com. Keep it simple. You can also find me in my vertical coffin. Feel free to stop by.
And Tess.
I'm at tessirondale.com. It's got all the links for social and Discord and everything.
Amazing. Gary.
I'm Gary Furlong VO on pretty much all the social medias. GaryFurlongVoices.com is my website, and I think, yeah, that's it.
And Neil.
Yeah.
Oh, we were doing so good.
Yeah, neilhelligers.com. Right there.
So often it's a long story. We don't have time for it right now. And you can find me in those things and that website as well too, or you can find me in this glass cage of emotion.
Amazing. Well, look, thank you all so much. This has been absolutely fantastic. Very, very entertaining. And yeah, I think that we can probably sign off now. So we'll do the awkward wave to the audience as we're cut off.